All right. Let me know what move I should make here. My placement's a little fucked. A little fuckered. Oh, I don't know what to move here. I'm supposed to move. I got my mouth full of bum. Wait, I gotta start that over. 1, 2, 3. I got a mouthful of bum wings again. Behind the Wendy's on 82nd. When I'm done, I'm gonna take a nap in a Duke stack. Then I'm gonna take a DIY shower in the back of a rape van. I like uplifting chords about really dark shit. It's like a romantic song, but I'm singing about like somebody who's really down on their luck. Like they've lowered their standards to a point where they're filling their mouths full of bum wangs behind a Wendy's in hopes of getting some money to get a double junior bacon cheeseburger. Yep. That's about it. If you're down on your luck, you should just hang in there. Don't reduce yourself to blowing homeless dudes on 82nd. Don't make the same mistake I did. I hear no shame. No.
I hear there's quite the career opportunities.
Dude, Portland has let itself go. It looks like fucking Post Malone's face. The whole city of Portland does. And by Post Malone's face, I mean like what a debris field or a junkyard must look like.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, I go through Portland all the time. I'm from there. It didn't always look like that, you know.
Yeah, it's rough.
So, Kate Brown, dude. Shutting down the state again. How you feel about that? You live here. Come on, man.
I mean, honestly, most of her decisions that she's made are relatively reasonable throughout this pandemic for the most part. But what came in at last, finally, was the fact that she lives in a world where she entertains unbelievably ridiculous ideas from her political side, and just like both political sides have done recently, where they entertain the most ridiculous points of view. And then she has to be in the room with those people.
What is that noise?
I don't know. It sounds like a dog, maybe in my iPad. Oh, there's a dog in my iPad.
There's a dog in your iPad.
Sounded like it.
Well, you know what, dude?
If that makes sense, you know. So eventually, you know, the decision-making filter went through the most ridiculous people. You know. But otherwise, you know,
but she is the governor. She does make the ultimate decision.
That's what I'm saying. No, yeah, she's just letting someone else influence her on that level. I'm saying, because this isn't necessarily like this is kind of an extreme view, and throughout at the very beginning, Oregon didn't have the most extreme view. It was actually relatively chill. I thought it was pretty consistent, you know?
Yeah, well, it's changed month by month. This whole thing's changed month by month, or even week by week. For that matter, well, here's a thought. What do you think Kitzhaber would have done if Kitzhaber was still the governor?
I think there would have been, like say the Super Bowl, for instance, right? You know, like those were first responders, because they had already gotten the vaccine way back in January, you know, for an early February Super Bowl, and that's what Tampa Bay had. And I thought that idea was kind of cool that they could like, you know, segment it off for things like, you know, school kids or whatever that already are in a bubble together, and you could just enter them through different doors and things like that. You know, you could really utilize the situation to, you know, help out people who, you know, you could give out a little bit of stuff, you know, like I said, like Super Bowl. But then, say a really rich person that wants to buy a ticket to something like that, and they have vaccines, and they're like, hey, look, here's my vaccine card. I just got my vaccine. And like somehow I don't, you know, there's like some reverse kind of thinking going on, because people don't want to have a vaccine card to do stuff. And then at the other side of their mouth, they're like, well, why can't I go here? And it's like, well, if you had a vaccine card, then maybe we could let people do that. But for whatever reason, the same person wants it and doesn't want it simultaneously, almost in the same sentence. And so like, that's where we are collectively. You know, I'm not that and you're not that, but that's kind of what I'm seeing a lot, you know?
So sure. And everything you said there is pretty accurate. And I agree with everything too. But back to Kate Brown and the decision to, I think I should have just been more specific. And I have a problem with that in my life. I need to be more specific. I'm talking specifically shutting down restaurants, which are not super spreaders.
Right. Well, the Blazers are the only team that don't have fans.
Right. So, and that's the other thing I was going to say is like, IKEA's open, Walmart's open, Costco's open. And I understand it's been a year. We all know the arguments. Like you're wearing a mask. Right. It's not a rock concert. You're not in there all day. And it's not the same thing as like sitting in a restaurant, but a restaurant, we're talking about like, you can't have 10 people and eating a cheeseburger in a restaurant. I just don't see that as the solution to stopping a global pandemic starting at a local small coffee shop in Portland.
Right.
And I just don't see that logic at all. And it's still a year into this. I can't stand by it and agree with it that it's a good decision to shut down the most vulnerable people and let multi-billion trillion global corporations just carry on as usual.
Right.
I
agree. The fact that the planes always ran meant that we only all needed to be at the level of security that the planes had. And I think some people use that as their logical medium. Like they'd say, well, if people can get on planes and sit next to each other, then that must mean we could sit next to each other at a baseball game.
Right, which was an argument I made.
Right.
Which is like if you can squeeze a bunch of people in a tube together for hours on end, but you can't drink a cup of coffee at the coffee shop. I don't see the logic in that. I don't think it takes an expert either to see that kind of logic.
It actually does matter too when you said that, which is months and months ago. You see what I mean?
Sure.
And so most of the rest of it is a different conversation, which is, okay, look, some of us are going to do that. And statistically, if only some of us do it, then it won't affect all of us quite as much as if all of us do it.
Until you get off the plane and then you go hang out with your buddies without a mask on.
But what I'm saying is that literally means the people who can afford to do this funner thing can't afford to do this other. So like I said, it's just cross-checking bullshit. Because in a weird way, like I said, the difference between being on a plane and being in the middle at the front row of a rose garden, 20 feet from another group of people at the rose garden in a giant arena.
You're still only exposed to water droplet shots, though. Do you know what I mean, though? No,
it's pretty wild. It's pretty stupid.
It's true, though, right? So
I know.
We were talking about this before about like, I told you on another podcast about my buddy saying this years ago during SARS, or whatever that was, 2002 or 3 or something. And he was saying that to me then, right? If you recall me saying this, he's like, it kind of makes sense to wear a mask to your destination. I mean, you would even prevent yourself from getting the flu or common cold.
Sure.
Why not put it on like even before the coronavirus? Why not wear a mask until you get to your seat on your airplane? Then you're only exposed to the people around you.
Right.
So if you're at the front row at the Moda Center, you're only exposed to the people around you if you wore a mask on your way there. And I'm not saying that's a solution.
No.
But what I am saying is you're probably at less risk at a coffee shop than you are on an airplane.
Right.
And I don't think anybody would argue that. But for some reason, because this is another fucking thing. I check this out, man. This might be a little bit in another gear, but I've always wanted to mention this to you on this. No, it's not really, though, but I've always wanted to mention this to you on our stream. It's this thing I call the little guy complex, man. We go after and we do this as individuals and we do it as billion-dollar global corporations. On every level, we go after the helpless. So I want to give you a really just a kind of an example here is I play golf and I don't smoke, but smoking's not allowed in state parks.
Sure.
Right. You can't smoke a cigarette in a state park because the smoke itself is offensive to people. But while you're in that state park, 1,200 semi-trucks will drive by spewing diesel fumes all over you.
Sure.
So the park isn't going to go after those guys. They're too big. It's too big of a job to go after this polluter, to go after this guy who's pumping diesel into your park. But the guy with the cigarette's helpless. We can go after him. The point is, it's not a moral compass. It's faux outrage is what it is. If you're going after the most helpless person, that's all it is. And that's what these coronavirus restrictions do. They don't go after the fucking airplane industry. They go after the small business owner who owns a coffee shop. And I'm going to wrap this up right here is I really do believe we need a legal remedy here. We need to be able to sue Kate Brown and sue the state of Oregon because it's fucking bullshit. And at this point, a year in, I'm going conservative, baby. I'm serious. A year into this, I've been on board the whole time. I followed every guideline. I got vaccinated. I wear a mask everywhere I fucking go. I will always listen to the CDC guidelines, but I'm not going to listen to the state. And they're the filter interpreting the CDC guidelines.
Right.
So the CDC tells Kate Brown, hey, you need to do something. And she's like, that's too hard. Just shut it all down.
Right.
Because that's what I've seen. The stay-at-home order signed, and you don't see the governor for fucking 3 weeks, 2 months, whatever. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. I'm just calling bullshit at this point.
Right.
I'm calling bullshit. I'm saying back to that what I said. You're just going after the most helpless people because the bigger people, it's too challenging to go after them. And you're admitting that. You're saying, you know what? That's too much work. I'm not going to go after the airline industry. Too much work. They have too much power.
Right.
But, the Dog River, the coffee shop up here, we'll go after them. Fuck you, is what I say. Fuck you, Kate Brown. Fuck you and fuck your stupid face.
I like that. That's a good one. A lot of people are going to really like that, too, because what happens when...
And I voted Democrat. I voted for Inslee.
Well, I just don't think... My thing about it is that now it's the percentage or the way that they build the idea of what the percentage is of this and that and how many people is this or whatever.
The criteria.
It changes. Yeah, criteria. Sorry.
No, that's cool.
It's like it changes based on like the length of time we get from the original outbreak, which is a really relative number for just a lot of reasons, but it's not in the numbers. The numbers don't take into account how long we've been fucking with it or other factors that happen to come along with it. And so there's no way at some point to rule, at some point, let's just put it out there. Enough people have had the opportunity to get the vaccine. A lot of people didn't want to get it or don't want to get it. And it's a pretty large number. There's no way to know what it is. I'm going to guess it's pretty big. So here's the thing. And then they're still getting sick. And then everybody has to stop doing shit. At some point, that's not a very good model. You know what I mean? Because those people have had the choice. They've had the choice. So you just got to go back to normal. And it's an unfortunate fucking factor, but I don't know what else to do. A lot of them want herd immunity openly. They say they want that. They want to get it and build their immunity that way. That's their choice. They think that's the right way to do it. Mm-hmm. The restrictions are going to be there for a really long time if it's going to be always based on people getting this disease. And like, you're right, it is a fucking huge corporate scam against any small business, which again goes back to kind of like, it's like a Republican. It's a nightmare for a Democrat to hear that like Republicans had been predicting this for a really long time.
Exactly.
You know
like guys like me who have been left their whole lives. And I've always had conservative values. Like I have some conservative, what most people would think are conservative values. But on this subject, right. Yes.
Not in a sex club.
This one has pushed me to the right. And in a way, too, I've said this since it started pissing me off, is this is a great chance for us to unite. Republicans and Democrats, we can all agree this is bullshit. We should just get together, throw out all our differences just for a month or two and go protest. And go down to fucking Kate Brown's mansion and say, fuck you, eat a fucking bag of dicks, you fucking cunt. And we all open our shit collectively. They can't bust us all at once.
Well, and the thing is that what we're really dealing with too.
And by the way, I don't live in Oregon.
What we're really dealing with though is a consistency issue, which isn't governance. So I think you're right. At the beginning, you mentioned something about it being her job, and the truth is, it's for her to look at the whole picture and make a judgment call of when to say, to take into account what I was just saying about like how many people have had a choice. And then how long are we going to wait? And then just make that information public and just say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and shut her down for a month. And like, whatever. I know that's not cool, but let's just make something up. If that's what she says, whatever. Yeah. Let's shut her down for a month. But after that, we're just going to go ahead and open it up because we can't afford to lose an entire summer. Just because a lot of people decided they didn't want to get a vaccine, like that's just the way it's going to have to be. And we'd like you to wear your masks. Please wear your masks. Just like always, though, it's not really against the law. We just please be nice. Please don't,
No, you made some great fucking points there. And I completely agree with everything you said. Something I've noticed driving around for work too. And I wanted to mention this earlier and just briefly is when you see the rest of the state, you can kind of understand some of the mentality, meaning the mentality towards how the public is taking this seriously or not. Do you know what I mean? So if you're the governor, you might see one side or another. Like, for example, I live in Bingen, White Salmon, where it appears as if 99% of the public are in agreement that we should all just wear masks and social distance, and it's not a thing in my neighborhood. Everyone does it. When the rednecks and the fucking loggers go into the store, they feel comfortable wearing a mask because everybody is.
And nobody cares. That's not the hill they're willing to die on.
When you go, yeah, exactly. But when you leave here, which, I did just the other day, I mentioned I went up near Seattle and I went by some towns up there where, bro, I'm telling you, parks full of people, no masks, restaurants full of people, lines outside, no masks, no social distancing.
Right.
So there are towns where people are like, yeah, we don't care if we get sick and die.
Well, they probably got a vaccine.
Well, no, they didn't. So you heard that story about the town Republic in Washington. So they had 100 infections that occurred in 1 week between a bunch of super spreader events in one of the smallest towns in Washington.
Sure.
Where they had karaoke night, all kinds of shit. So one guy's dead, 50 people are hospitalized. So no, these people are not vaccinated. They're like, we don't care because I think it's too, it's not just a ignorance by choice.
Right.
I think it's also denial.
Right.
It's just straight up denial. It's too big. It's too hard to grasp. It's like, dude, I don't want to think past this Budweiser and my favorite TV show. It's like that is worn out. It's too much math, dude. For people to grasp, especially just rednecks in small towns where they just want to watch fucking fake news and drink cheap beer. So anyway,
no, and honestly, I think life should be about trying to find ways to chill. So I kind of get where they're coming from, but vaccine's not part of that. As far as I'm concerned, you just, it's nothing. I already did it in January, and I just don't get it. The thing is though, is when I chug a bunch of coffee in the morning, like a lot of French press, dark French press, dark roast, heavy duty shit, right early in the morning on it, like a too much dessert the night before, gut rot stomach, right? And I eat and I just chug some coffee, and then I get a pretty harsh stomach ache. I don't think Bill Gates.
Totally.
Somebody would
have to plant that idea.
The blame game makes you look like you're not an adult.
Well, it also
it makes you look like a fool.
I also think and like I kind of said, I feel, dude, it's an easy answer, so it's comforting.
It's just
you're a Sam Harris fan.
It's boring.
Right? That's total Sam Harris philosophy, which is it makes you feel comfortable. It makes you feel like you're in your comfort zone. I understand how things work. So when it's, I don't know, when you believe something like that, like Bill Gates is involved, then it's like, cool, I'm done here. I already did the math. I don't have to think about it anymore. I've already made my decision. But also it goes back to our podcast the other day. You are that little girl looking up at the airplane, wondering how they shrink you to get you on it. That's your comprehension.
It is, dude.
Yeah.
It's wild. But here's the thing. If it's Bill Gates, then he's going to fucking put his finger in your butt anyways. If it's not Bill Gates, he's not going to put his finger in your butt, and you act kind of the same way either way. What are you going to do about it either way? So why fall for shit when you don't even have a plan to go against it?
Totally.
What's the fucking point? What is the point? What are you doing to do about it?
No, dude, you're so fucking right.
What, you got an extra box of rice in the fucking pantry to save you for an extra day? What are you doing?
Exactly.
Who cares?
You're wasting your time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's the other thing too. I get this in a lot of other aspects in life, and I've wanted to also bring this up on our stream, which is Oh, I've been in these kind of debates, or I just call them flat out arguments with people, which is, and I'm not talking about social media.
Nice
I'm talking about in-person arguments too, about this argument right here, which is you don't know what you're talking about, so shut up. So back to that little girl looking at the airplane. Mm-hmm. Okay, so my comprehension of virology is very limited, right? Sure. And I accept that. But the other part of it is this. You don't have to be a car mechanic to know your car's not running right.
Right.
You don't have to be a doctor to know your knee hurts. So like if you say to somebody, my car's fucked up, and they said, what are you, a fucking mechanic? Wouldn't you just sound like a fucking moron? Because you're like, no, I'm not a mechanic. You want to drive my car and tell me how?
Chug.
Yeah,
bro.
you want to drive it like, dude, are you kidding me? Does it take a fucking expert to know there's fucking smoke shooting out of my tailpipe? So that's what I'm trying to say is there are some things that just basic dudes like me can comprehend about virology, or to look at something and be like, no, I don't believe in coincidence. Something's off here. Something doesn't check out. No, I don't have to be an expert on it to know that my knee hurts or to know that my car's not running right, I guess. And I guess by me saying that is I'm giving some credibility to people who might be suspicious of vaccines or suspicious of Bill Gates. Like, sure,
whatever.
But what's how credible is it is what you have to ask yourself. And that's what I mean. Like when your car's fucked up, how credible is it? I got to say, a lot of the times my car's running fine, and I just always think something's fucked up with it.
Yeah, but there's still there's still a way to like, there's like a kind of a not making agreements with losing. Like, you know, you're going to die. Everyone's going to die. And that's kind of like dark and heavy, but it's true. And so you're not really going to win in the end. Right. And so this idea that somebody's trying to win these small battles with their fucking like Braveheart attitude it's like, so it's so disgustingly undignified. And it's just American. And it's the embarrassing part of being American. Can't you just fucking smoke a joint, look at a tree?
Yes.
And just like your life and be happy what
like
you
I
got.
said on the last stream podcast, I said, why don't fishermen fish?
Why would you
go fish?
Why would you want to talk about politics? Like, I don't want to talk about politics. I want to make fun of people that talk about politics. That's fun to talk about. And lose at this little puzzle chess game that I'm trying to play that I'm kind of scared of.
Well, then George Carlin, like, you don't even need to talk about politics. Anything you need to know about politics, George Carlin already summed it up.
Oh yeah,
years ago. And the best, and I could quote him all day, but the best quote is, "This is the best we have to offer." Remember, he's like, politicians, they don't fall out of the sky. It's like, these are your neighbors. They went to American institutions. Like, this is the best we got.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting there like, fuck this guy, fuck that guy, dude, bear in mind, these are your boys, man.
Oh, yeah.
These are your neighbors, your peers. They grew up right next to you. Like, just like the guy right next to you right now, he might be your future president, your future governor, your future mayor. You don't fucking know.
Well, that's kind of the cool part. But the problem is I don't think it's actually that. I mean, this is not popular, but I'm not sure it is the smart people or the privileged people that are fucking anything up. Like, in a way, you know, it's like the only reason that shitty products, the only reason like Dollar Tree is the number one money maker is because dumbasses go to Dollar Tree.
Hey man, my wife shops there sometimes. I'm kidding.
You know what I'm saying though? Like,
buy stuff for school.
I'm just telling you, dude. Like, if you support them, they will come.
Right.
You know, and like, so,
yeah.
You know, fuck, what is it? Butt fuckers. What's the new restaurant in the future in Idiocracy?
As butt fuckers.
Yeah, butt fuckers. When you're eating a cheeseburger at Butt Fuckers someday, don't be mad.
Oh my God. That movie is so great. That documentary is so great.
It's a documentary.
No, I think, you know what? You what you said, I thought was really great earlier about you were saying just staying on with Kate Brown and these shutdowns. You're basically saying, you know what? It's over. People who are going to get vaccinated are going to get vaccinated. And I just think everything you said was great. There was a lot of truth to it. And I'm going to go back and probably listen to this podcast again, just so I can listen to you say that again, because it really checked out. You were also saying, you know, maybe shut it down for some amount of time and then say, we're done here. Who's vaccinated, like, go and live your life. And if you're vaccinated, good for you. Well, and if you're not, see you in the hospital. Like, I don't know.
The county was doing them at this church by my work, man. And like, there was nobody's pulling in. I think they just decided not to do it anymore.
Right.
That's it. That's all the people.
Yeah.
That's everybody that wanted it, and everybody else ain't gonna get it. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I don't want anybody dying. Shit. I don't know. Bill Gates, are you dying or you're getting Bill Gates?
Right.
Die Bill Gates fingers. Die Bill Gates.
I mentioned this to my family, and I was really hesitant to mention to them that I'd gotten vaccinated, just because I didn't want to, deal with the whatever the response would be. And my brother's response actually kind of surprised me, because it wasn't what I was expecting. And he basically, what he did is he kind of, and Josh, if you're listening, don't take this the wrong way. Basically what he said was, I would, but this.
Yeah.
So like that, I think that's what a lot of people do to convince themselves out of doing all kinds of shit in life.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, sure, I'd go out and watch that concert, but this. Or I'd love to go, I'd love to go out to dinner to that place, but this. Or I'd love to hang out with you, but this. Or there's always some reason people convince themselves of why they shouldn't do something. And that was kind of how I read my brother's response. And I bet you that's how a lot of people are. A lot of people's excuse.
Oh, yeah.
I'd get vaccinated, except.
And most of those people aren't going to die. And
sure.
Most of the people that took the vaccine aren't going to get Bill Gates' finger in their butt. Probably only his wife. Let's be real. But maybe a corpse or two, just for like, I just mean that like as a clinical thing, like totally. Like some kind of cream you may be inventing or something.
Oh yeah.
But
for homeless dudes behind Wendy's,
just people with skin like dead people,
Ooh.
The younger crowd. But so here's the thing. The people who are being now, let's just get real with this. Let's turn this over. Let's make this happy at the end. I think we can do this subject matter. We can make it happy.
Oh hell yeah!
And here's how I mean. Here's what I mean. Well, how I, why I mean, whatever. Who's on first? Artists and poor people are supposed to suffer to make good art and to make good food and shit like that. And I know nobody likes that. Nobody wants to hear that.
I don't think suffering discriminates with finances.
No. I'm saying people who are talented create better shit when they're under a little bit of pressure. Yeah. That's where I'm going with that. Yeah, totally. It's not that everybody doesn't suffer, that suffering's not equal across the board in some way, shape, or form. I simply mean is that people who make creative stuff or do new ideas or under pressure create better ideas. And so I'd like to think of all this time frame right now as just a way that's the pressure cooker for a bunch of people. And yeah, does that increase a lot of people failing and a lot of like damage in like families and all that kind of thing in society? Like I get it. Like it's not like something to celebrate, but realistically nothing really is in that way. And so no matter what you say about it, you're risking something. I mean, clearly like peacetime and cheap food and things leads to massive obesity. I think we've proven that. And I don't think anybody's fucking proud of that. And then all of a sudden now you have people who want to talk about how great that is. So we're like doubling down on fucking heart disease, which is numero uno. It's basically the equivalent of saying like everyone needs to at least go 100 down Oak Street, at least 100, or else it's not worth it. I mean, it's really kind of, could you imagine like having the highest death killer on the front page? Like this is what we should be talking about as like the way
heart disease,
which is obesity and
right.
Anyways, yeah, it's pretty wild though. Like we're in some weird places right now, and so I think what I would tell people to do is focus on your own shit. Not worry about crazy people, unless you've got a live show or you're making fun of stuff all the time and trying to irritate people who might think against you.
Look, Mom, it's a mountain. Well, so what do you make of the news in India then?
It's fucking horrid, but they got a caste system. Like Jesus Christ, right. What do we expect?
So I guess I see there I go again. I asked a question and didn't get to specifics. Like I guess what I meant is from a scientific perspective, or from a perspective of a virologist, like the fact that just they went from 4,000 cases a day, I think in March, to 400,000 cases a day yesterday.
Yeah.
That from a scientific perspective, that's some pretty fucking prolific fucking virus incubator going on down there. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, that's heavy.
How transmissible does that shit have to be, even in that society, for it to move that fast? That it's been there for 365 days, and then all of a sudden, bam!
What do we know about it? What do we know about it, though? What do we know about health? Right. So, like, are the people that are getting it healthy? Do we have a system of like lifestyle that incubates unhealthy people? You know what I mean? Like we do. We have like old folks' homes, and we have like huge populations of people who are like, you know, what you could almost consider life support to some degree through medications and lifestyle nursing and things like that. And like those are the first people to get affected on that, you know, like dramatic level. And that's, you know, I mean, that's to be expected. They're at the high peak end of already, their body's already not handling life without COVID.
You'd suggest that the
regular life,
majority of the
gravity,
the billion people in India, they don't have. I mean, they spend 1% of their annual budget on healthcare. I know that for a fact. So maybe there's some truth to what you're saying.
Well, here's
what you're suggesting.
Tim Dillon,
their health isn't optimal. General health in India health.
The Tim Dillon show, my sources, like he would say, like he said, a lot of the people like don't get to eat meat every day. And so
in India, is
like,
that what you mean?
Well, they have like limited diet. Like I guess this is a comedian source, but they don't get to eat what they want. A lot of people are undernourished. You know, they're undernourished in the, like you said. Not only that, but their bodies are probably fighting off bacterial diseases from swimming in shit wherevers and.
Right.
You know, I'm just like, I don't know. Like,
no, that's a great point.
It doesn't sound very good, man.
Yeah.
Like, and when I see pictures of it, doesn't sound very good. I know people gone there say that it stinks. Like, I don't know. I don't think they're being rude.
So
I think it smells like poop.
We had a guest on here who was in India recently, right? Mm-hmm. That Luke dude.
Yeah, Luke.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he's seen it firsthand. His descriptions kind of fit the description you were just giving, or your what would I say? Your prediction, I guess, of what life must be like in India for a virus to be able to proliferate like that quickly. Mm-hmm. To go from 4,000 a day to 400,000 a day in 2 months is pretty significant.
Well, I'm gonna guess too. They were probably like underreporting,
right?
At first, maybe.
Right.
Too, because we're like talking about just somebody counting some shit. So, you know, I'm gonna look for the flaw in the system itself first, and then secondary, just realize that a lot more people died. But this specific number, percentage ratio isn't really as important to me, I guess. Air quality in India isn't great either. That's probably,
that's a great point too. So yeah, that would definitely contribute to the success of the virus proliferation inside your lungs, right? Could be due to the health of your lungs, and yeah, air quality would definitely affect that, which we already know.
Well, like I said, they don't really. I think we got a system where we don't treat our poor people very well, and I think they have a system that doesn't treat their poor people very well either.
They just have a lot more of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So do you think that there's other nations that are next in line? So what I just read, and I read it, the source was reliable. I don't read bullshit. I want to say it was New York Times, but it may not have been. Was basically CDC, World Health Organization, predicting that these numbers are going to peak in the next week or two. And the reason they believe that is for the obvious reason that only so many people can get infected, and that the government is essentially taking that approach now, which is there's nothing we can do. Let it run its course.
Right.
And that's the only solution for them at this point, because they don't have the healthcare infrastructure to keep up with it. Right.
Sure.
So, I mean, who's next?
Well, any country in poverty is going to have to be susceptible to that level, I would think. Ones that haven't been hit, that have poor people. The poor people, it's the nutrition that I'm expecting is what we're looking at. We're looking at something that affects you, where your immune system needs to be able to like operate at high levels. You know, and I mean, it's just been controversial because it sounds rude that healthier people have a better chance of living. That's just like controversial like statement, because you're saying like in a weird way, like, I don't know, you're like you're victim blaming in a weird way. I think for some people,
it depends on what your intention is for saying it, your motivation for saying it. Because when you say that to me, what I hear is I just hear data and science.
Right.
I don't hear individuals. This isn't personal. I just hear like, oh, if these conditions exist, your likelihood of surviving this decreases. And it could be anything. Like you've said, you could get fucking yellow fever. And if your health isn't, in some kind of functional shape, you might die from it.
That's pretty much why things happen. So, it's just like I said, it's hard for people to wrap their head around, but some people are, born with a little tougher system.
You mean they're stubborn?
No. No, they just have a good immune system. Their body heals fast. Okay. They got a good white blood cell count.
Sure. And then there's
healthy, and like there's other people that weren't born that way, and that's just the way it goes. And like nobody said anything. Sometimes there's reasons why. Sometimes there's not.
It's why fucking healthy children get cancer.
Yeah.
And Keith Richards is still alive.
Right. You never know.
Straight the fuck up. That dude smokes like 40 packs of cigarettes a day, drinks fucking 2 fifths of whiskey, and does blow, and he's like 90. And there's 6-year-old kids who just like cancer just won't leave them alone.
But it's like, imagine the kind of shit show you'd have though if you had like cigarettes where somebody had to come in and show like an ID of like health to buy them. You're like, I can absorb these. I got Keith Richard blood. You know what I mean? Like some eugenics study. You can see like it goes anywhere you think about this, it goes dark. And so that's why they don't. No,
that's why
people don't want to fuck with that. You know what I mean? Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. I get it. A lot of true things lead to bad ideas.
Yeah. Because the truth isn't what's the word? Isn't comfortable. The truth sounds like this augmented scale right here.
Yeah. This mic stands is not cut. It's beautiful. Yeah, Bobby, you're right. I mean, it's just one of those things. But the thing is we create medicine and things like to try to balance it out. And that's the whole point of having healthcare and things. It's not this somebody's not going to die. Like we're all going to die, but you just try to make some medicine shit to balance it out so the people that you love can, you can share time with them. Pretty simple.
It sounds simple. It's not simple for some people. So back to India.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying like, so if their government officials are right, and it does just run its course, and so many people are infected and recovered that the virus has nowhere else to go, the mutations that are going to come from that unchecked proliferation are going to make it to other countries.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
So that's what's the next chapter is most likely going to be. Sure. I would imagine
the incubated Indian virus.
Well, dude, like the Spanish flu.
Mm-hmm.
Like when this shit happened, obviously last year, I fucking started reading about it again because it's just really interesting. The science is interesting. The response is interesting. The way the public perceives it, the way the public handles it or doesn't handle it. It was just interesting. And from what I read, and from what I think other people would take from it too, if they read, that the Spanish flu did the same thing. It was just completely unchecked, unchallenged. And like, so certain places wouldn't have the same infection rates because they didn't have those mutations. Right?
Right.
So like a year would go by, for example, and San Francisco's like, we're managing, or where was that? It was Philadelphia where they ended up having a super spreader parade. Do you remember that during the Spanish flu?
Yep.
And to them, like maybe that's what happened. I mean, we don't know. We didn't have the tools and scientific instruments then to know. Like, there's probably a mutation made its way there.
Sure.
And they were doing fine for a year. They're like, no, we don't have any infections here. Everybody's great. Next day, everybody's infected and their hospitals are full of people, and they are India, basically, right? So that's what I mean. The shit's just gonna fucking keep doing this. Like, I mean, that's what.
That's okay. They'll all just go get a vaccine.
So that's what
a couple times a year.
So that is what I was going to say next. Is that supposedly, theoretically, and this isn't proven, and some people think this isn't accurate. so I don't want to spread misinformation, that the common flu as we know it, the seasonal flu as we know it, is a descendant of the Spanish flu.
Right. That
we didn't have a seasonal flu documented or known of anywhere in the world until 1918.
Sure.
So every year, a new mutation of the Spanish flu emerges. So that's why some flu seasons are worse than others, right? Remember, like in the 80s, everybody remembers, or the year everybody got the flu.
Sure.
Everybody at school got the flu.
Man, shit my brains out.
Shitting brains out. Fucking everybody got the flu. That year, it was just a really strong mutant strain of the fucking Spanish flu. So that's why people get vaccinated for it every year, because they just want to be prepared for whatever mutant comes their way. So when someone tells you, well, it only protects you 50%, that's actually BS. The doctor would tell you to your face, yeah, but it will reduce proliferation in your body. It will reduce your viral load. It will reduce community transmission. And if you show symptoms, they won't be as severe.
Right.
So, and finishing this up, what are we looking at here? The coronavirus is the next seasonal cold.
Right. I agree.
And it's just more powerful than previous colds that we've known of. And each year it's going to keep emerging as a new mutant. And one's going to, one mutant will spread more than another, and one will be more, get you sicker than another. And each year it'll be something different.
You think we can find Corey?
I don't know. Good luck. I'll sing another blown homeless guy song.
Let's see if he answers. Oh, I don't see him.
Got Bill Gates in my butthole, putting microchips in my ass. I don't really care because I love the dude. Fuck yeah, I got a Microsoft tattoo. I got a motherfucking... What did he make? Windows? I ran out of shit.
Yeah, Windows.
See, I don't even fucking pay attention, know, or care anything about any of that shit.
Who? Gates Bill?
Yeah, like, I don't fucking care.
What's everybody doing today? Anybody doing anything fun this extra Sunday? Blazers play today at 4:30. Should be a good one against Boston. Coming off a... God damn, dude. Whoa. That's some rock and roll.
Sorry, it's an episode.
That's some rock and roll.
I didn't get my medication this week. My doctor has me on a prescription of pure LSD 25.
Really? Mm-hmm. You're in part of those new studies, Oregon studies?
It's not a study. These are suppositories, and it's basically the equivalent of a book of acid. So 100 hits every 4 hours. Doctor's orders.
That sounds not realistic.
Oh, and cocaine.
Oh, nice. At least got a looper. Sick. Okay, you should get a webcam and stream it. Let us see. Bobby, when are you going to come down here and be our guest? I got this camera right here that I'm playing little chip. Oh shit. We're busted. Oh shit. Tim's here. Oh shit.
Well, it's getting near time to rock.
Yeah, we're gonna rock. So it's nice to see y'all, and appreciate you watching our. What did we get to? It was 45 minutes. We need to do some more 45-minute long ones. They're a little easier to digest, I bet.
Oh shit, gangsta.
Oh shit. Look, it's Tim.
You've always got some just delicious looking beverage.
Here, sit down and Tim, be on the screen for a second. Look, we got a camera for you.
Look, there's Tim. Yeah.
What's going on?
Tim usually shows up naked on Sundays.
Yeah, next week. Oh, shit. We don't have a mic for him, though, but we can look at him. He's got to yell. You got to yell like you're in a train station or something.
No, it'll pick him up.
Will it? Nice. Hey, Bobby. Yeah, dude. You should come down next Sunday morning. Fucker. Yeah, it looked busy. Tim. We did. We were cleaning when Tim got here. Elise says hi, Tim. Elise Tickner.
Well, hello.
Yeah, she got a loop pedal.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Loop pedals are great. Sick tools, too.
Yeah, she's going to start making some shit. Yeah, yeah, it's dope.
I've been pushing them on all my students because they're great tools. They're great tools.
Super fun. Silas used to play around with one, and I was pretty amazed at
It's perfect learning tool because it keeps perfect time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a metronome and it's you. It's a metronome of your own shit.
Right.
Yeah. I use mine every fucking day. Every time I practice, I use one.
Because as a drummer, I could walk over and play a simple guitar riff and loop it and set the guitar down and go play along with it on the drum set too.
Huh. Yo, Bobby, we do this twice a week, Thursday nights and Sunday mornings.
Yeah, so pick one. Yeah, pick one, dude. Whichever one you want. And yeah, fucking message me and we'll set a time. But Sunday morning, we start about, what have we been doing? About 9 a.m.?
Yeah, we're doing 9
9
a.m. on Sundays.
And then-
Get coffee and donuts.
Thursdays end up be about 6 p.m. Thursday nights.
Yep.
So.
Does it look like I'm looking at you guys when I go like this?
It looks like you're looking at Nick. That's Nick. You're looking at Nick
here.
now. Now I look the other way and you're looking at me. There. Now Nick's looking at the wall. There. Now he's looking at Tim. Yeah, we need to choreograph that probably.
Sweet.
Hey, what up, Cam? Good to see you.
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys got to check out Cam on Twitch. Are you guys gonna go tonight? Cam, are you guys gonna be on tonight?
you too.
His girlfriend does drawing on one camera.
Drawings.
And he plays like dark rock, like 3-dimensional soundscapes of Cam. It's pretty dope. I check him out all the time.
Someone's doing a mural right next door in the clay studio right now. She's got a video going of it. I guess they're gonna time lapse it.
Fuck yeah, dude. Time lapse. Yeah, I talked to her this morning. I was telling her that we've been doing this. We'll do something no matter what. We're not giving up. She's like, I'm not giving up either. Fucking melt master. I'm going to the coast next weekend. All right, man. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Well, yeah, check out Cam's stream. Everybody that's on there, check it out. Join Twitch, man. Join Twitch. Check
It's
us out.
just an RG guitar. It's a cheap RG.
In about 7 months, we're gonna be off of all the platforms except Twitch. So join Twitch if you wanna still hang out and watch our show. I mean, it's like easy, it's free, and it helps us out a lot. So please do that. Anyways, Bobby, we'll see you next week. Guys, everybody, all our fans, all 7,833,620.
Remember, smoke Marlboros, drink Pepsi, and go Oilers.
Oh, shit, I'm pointing at it in your crotch, not even your face. I'm sorry. But, yeah, dude, we got to go to Bobby's movie theater. We should stream from there. You got good Wi-Fi there, bro? Yeah. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to head into the coast. I can't tell anyone where I'm going. It's like a bat cave. Just kidding. Lincoln City. I'm hoping they got a restaurant open there next weekend. Fucking, that's the last time I went there. There was nothing open. Motherfuckers. It's bullshit.
Last time we went there, it was hard to get in the one place. But, it was open.
We ate at a pizza place that burnt down in the summer. Like the whole town burnt.
That's right. We left the day it happened.
Yeah.
We didn't do it.
It's almost like all of us in the state of Oregon sleep in the same hotel rooms. Isn't that interesting? It's like everybody you know goes to like similar places. So you think like there's a couple million people in like 50 hotels. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's wild.
You know, the movie theater there was closed. It still is. But they have a giant parking lot, and there's people everywhere jockeying for like places to camp. So I wonder if the movie theater would be allowed to just say, "All right, you can pay us $10 and park in the parking lot."
It seems like more people should just do that kind of shit. So, are you familiar with Hip Camp? Yeah, I bet you that kind of shit explodes in that towards that avenue as businesses embracing that model like that. Places that have huge wide open spaces that are unused most
Like
of the
Walmart?
time. Yeah, like,
Well, like Walmart
fucking
does let
Walmart.
people do that.
Concession stand for walk up, like, text your order to the movie theater. I'd like popcorn, drinks, and candy, and we're camping in the whatever Sprinter van from California or Colorado.
Right.
Well, yeah. Whatever kind of jackknife bullshit they come up with lately, I'm going to tell you what, if they keep blocking like food carts and shit like that from being at places, man, they're just digging a deeper hole. Like they really need to let like really small fly by night shit. And it needs to fly, man. We need to go back to like our old gypsy ways, man. Telling you what, dude, this is corporate rich people shit, dude. People need just to go get your reservations at Red Robin, take a dump on the table. That's what you need to do.
I thought I was the only guy who did that. It sounds like I started a trend. Those TikTok videos really work.
Pretend like you're from India. When you're done wiping, you throw it in the trash can.
Oh,
don't you be putting that back in that toilet. Hey man, we were trying to figure something out. Either we want to figure out why or we don't. And that's why. You gotta flush that shit.
We have the answers to everything because we are the West.
You gotta flush that shit. Flush that shit.
It means we know everything about everything and some things about nothing.
All right, well.
Whatever, some shit like that. You get the point.
I'm just looking for a medium idea. I'm not looking for a good one. All right, well, I'm shutting this down. This is not going anywhere.
Oh, it doesn't have
nobody
to.
likes,
it never does.
Nobody likes what we say. Like, all 2 million people just gave us a thumbs down all at once. Butt hurt. Nope, just kidding. We're going to go play music later.